how it tastes.
Your diet does reflect
Mm-hmm.
the taste, and so does your level of stress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows that we're energetic and we live in an energetic world. And so there's that vibration that's in the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you step in some water and it's really still and calm, and then you sit in other water and there's a huge tidal wave. So welcome back.
For
We
sure.
are, who are we waiting for? Curtis may or may not make it. And Elizabeth is not here, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or did you talk to each other? What's going on? It doesn't work that way. So, did you bring any? Did you bring any refreshments?
Oh yeah.
Ah, I like that color. What is that? Opal? That's turquoise.
It's a blue glass.
Oh, the whole glass is blue.
But you know, I work for this guy who does supplements, and he has something, it's called methylene blue, which
Uh-huh.
didn't do anything to me, but it colors the water blue, and the urine is also bluish for a while.
Yeah, it's
some
very
kind of
classy.
algae, an algae or something.
No, it's something, I don't know, not synthetic, but something, it's not a living organism. It's some thing. It's against malaria. It felt okay cleansing, but nothing as good as our own water. It's so beautiful to always come back to that and have realized that.
Just drink it is the new slogan. Just drink it. Anybody ask any questions, more than one or two questions, you just say, just drink it.
Yeah.
You
Be
hit the-
brave. Be brave.
Trust me. Do I look like I know what I'm talking about? I mean, either one of you would say that to somebody. All right, grab your water. I'm going to read the sacred water prayer in call and response format like we did at the beginning. Here we go. I take this water of life.
I take this water of life.
I declare it the water of light.
I declare it the water of light.
As I bring this water within this body,
And as I bring this water within this body,
it allows me to glow.
it allows me to glow.
I take this water of light.
I take this water of light.
I declare it the water of God.
I declare it the water of God.
I am the master of all I do and all that I am.
I am the master of all I do and all I am.
So be it.
So be it. Cheers.
L'chaim. Prost. What else we got?
Cheers.
Anything anybody would like to share that might have you might have experienced in the next 2 or 3 days, like since our last class? Was there anything you discovered? Anything that was a challenge? Was there anything? Did you flatline? I mean, what can you share with anybody today?
I had a great discovery actually. This morning, I've been doing compresses on my leg as I have a large scar from basically my knee joint to my groin from a surgery about probably 27 years ago. And then I had like a radiation burn. And up until this morning, I've always been able to see the radiation burn after all those years. And with doing the compresses on my leg, it's diminishing. And the scar is getting like, is starting to go away as well.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Sheena, God, I love you. Your timing couldn't be any more extraordinary, because one of my followers on, it was either Instagram or Telegram, says, will urine therapy help with scars? I want to share this video with you.
And Sheena, how often did you do the compresses?
You know what? I've only done actually 2. And this morning I put another one on with aged urine from, well, it's young. It's only from March 4th, but felt that I should do that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be much more potent for something like that because it has so much more stem cells in there, no?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so I've been taking pictures too. So yeah, it's a pretty ugly scar, but you know, it just it was a really good reminder of the previous treatment for and cures. So yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Let's briefly go over the Shivambhu wisdoms, make sure everybody understands what that chart is. Remember that?
Beginning.
What did you add, Anya? Where to? It's for everybody.
You said add intention, visualization, and love, and I asked where to?
Yeah, to
To
any
the
health.
present moment?
Well, it's great question. It's to any health condition you're working on healing right now.
Oh, beautiful.
You could also use it for relationships. You can also use it for anything.
Thank you. I really have an issue going on. I will use it for that.
Thank you. And remember, once you apply it, release your attachment to the outcome.
Yeah, exactly.
That's always what trips people up. I'm visualizing, I'm setting my intentions. Let it go now. So,
can I ask one thing regarding, yes, because you say visualization, and actually one of my teacher, who was, by the way, a Texan, he is a realized being. He left the body meanwhile, but he said, don't put a head on it. You know what I mean? That means basically let go of outcome, but then since then I'm a little bit scared to visualize because he said that, and I kind of rather give it all up and say your will, thy will be done. But you know, I'm a little bit tricky about this visualization. Would you like to say something with regard to that?
Well, I put out to the universe to assist me in setting off following the Shivambhu tour. That I got this vision to take across the country and across the world. I got this visual of a 2022, either a Mercedes or a Dodge Ram panel van, all decked out with the rack on the top and the ladder on the back, you know, windows. And a guy comes out of nowhere and says, oh, I've invested. Well, I'll get you one in June.
Wow.
Cool. I thought it's a great visual and it's a great fantasy and it may never come true. I prefer a limo, but it'll never come true, but we'll see how it plays out.
All right.
You can hold a visual of whatever it is or whatever the who is. The form is not up to us. I mean, that seems to take its own, plays out the way it plays out.
Yeah.
Okay, Shivambhu wisdoms. Number 1, it's an intuitive medicine. Anybody asks you anything and you know darn well they can figure it out themselves, which most people can, remind them it's an intuitive medicine. One thing I haven't added to this, and I know people who follow Bibles, the Bible teachings, is that there's this, there's teaching about you rest on the 7th day. God took a break. 7th day, took a rest, like God needs a rest, right? He took a break, and all these other people going, okay, you need to take a day off from everything. You need to take a break from nutritional products. You need to take a break from food. I even suggest once in a while, take a break from Shivambhu. Take a day off, let your body do what its body's going to do, and watch your mind about how you obsess about it. I mean, I get to look at that. Oh, did I do this? Did I snort this? Did I put this on here? Even that too needs some moderation in that respect.
Beautiful to say.
And I never said this before, so I guess this was the time. All right, number 2. Shivambhu alchemizes everything it touches.
May I ask where, in which page is it?
Of what?
This Shivambhu wisdom, or is that like an oral thing? It's not written in this book?
No, it wasn't produced in 2020. I sent it by email. It's a graphics
Oh.
design. If you don't have it, remind me. I'll get it to you. You froze, Anya.
Mm-hmm.
Anya, now you're back. If you don't have it, remind me. I'll email it to you.
Okay.
Okay, number.
I'll remind you later.
All right, thank you. It alchemizes everything it touches. A good example is people say, well, if I'm gargling Orin, I'm swishing, I'm holding my mouth for a while, sure, it's going to clear out that bacteria that I want to eliminate because of oral health challenges. Well, if it alchemizes everything, that means it's going to neutralize it, raise its vibration so that it matches or is now Shivambhu. Swallow it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would even add, when you're peeing in the bathtub, it'll help you to overcome your concerns about city water with chlorine and crap in it. People say, I won't sit in city water. I won't bathe in city water. It's got chemicals, blah, blah, blah. Well, not after you pee in your water. It's now diluted or homeopathic water. You know, people get a little neurotic about things. All right.
Does anybody actually did testing on that?
No.
Like before and after?
No, would you like to?
I don't know how. I'm not a chemist.
Yeah, send me a reminder. I'll ask Fiona, who's from one of the other groups. She also does microscope testing. She's got one of those expensive chemist microscopes that goes down 100 zoom magnification. And she's been sending us crystalline magnifications, crystalline pictures of urine. So just remember. I'll write a note. I'll write a note already.
Yeah, write a note already. Why do we have to remind you of everything?
Okay. I love it. With P. Free of chemicals. Okay. Okay, number 3. Shivambhu works regardless of your considerations about it. An example is people ask, well, you should only drink yours because that's made for you. It's perfect for you. Yeah, well, it's a universal panacea. That means you can drink a man's, a woman's, a child, an adult, a different race from yours, someone who's not healthy and someone who's healthy. I mean, if the push came to shove and there's somebody who was sick and you couldn't urinate and they could, you take it. So a lot of those considerations is just our judgments.
But what about over a period of time? Like if I would drink, say, a man's urine over a period of time, wouldn't I get too much testosterone?
No.
No. Okay.
No, it's gonna end up merging with your body chemistry. What Doc Mike figured out is that after he had shared his Orin with 30-something of his students, both male and female, he now has the immunity or the immune system of 30 people. That's the theory of a naturopath. Right, so I got to have some Indiras, I had some Doc Mikes, I had some of one of my other students. That means I got the immunity of 4 or 5 people, according to that theory.
It's a theory, though.
It's a theory. And I guess we have to test all 30 people. I don't know how that works. Okay, let's get a couple more of these and then we'll get into the reading here. Universal panacea works regardless of race, gender, age, or thoughts. You got to understand the mind is so powerful. Shivambhu is an evolutionary or evolving, living, activated water. And the more you can meditate on this, the more you go way past your ideas of what Shivambhu is, because we're talking about the vibration of Shiva here. We're talking about a category that's in its own category. So people in our limited minds, we're trying to put this in an understandable context so we can go, well, I can explain it to people if I narrow it down. But the more you use it, you start to see that it's beyond what you thought it was when you started using it. It's kind of like love. It just keeps getting better. Okay, practicing saturation dosing with urine therapy speeds up the healing process faster than just drinking it. Anybody want to comment on that? See, most people think of urine therapy as oral consumption. So they drink what they drink. They'll drink a glass in the morning, they'll say, okay, I did my dose, I'm good. Some people will take a little bit further and they'll loop throughout the day. Some people will sip loop. Some people start into the topical protocols. And what my experience has been is by adding more of the protocols, stepping up the quantity of oral consumption, I don't get sick. And if something happens to me, I recover within hours. So it's amazing to be able to see what saturation dosing can do for you.
That's true, because this morning I woke up and I had a headache and I thought, oh my gosh, I have class today. I think I'm just gonna turn the video off and lay down. And I started saturating and rubbed it all over my body. And I actually, today was the first time I'd used the oldest that I have, and all over my face. And well, here I am. I get to see all you. So yeah, and headache's gone.
Which protocols did you use?
Well, I did everything pretty well. I did compresses. I rubbed it all over my body, put it in my eyes and my ears, my hair, drinking it. And now I'm soaking my feet in it.
I want you to be the next poster child for
Oh, I
urine.
dove deep. I dove deep this time. Yeah.
Right. Of course, we need to have a close-up of you. We'll pan out and have you drinking like you're doing and get those feet in the tub. Or maybe we'll just do an aerial view. I don't know. I get these good visuals. Is there anything that Shivambhu cannot heal?
Well, it didn't heal the gangrene of that person you talked about last time.
We're talking about Tim Rogers.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know how that works out in this cosmic scheme of things. I mean, I can't explain it. And what we don't know is what his body was going through, what his lifestyle was like. Even though he was pitching Shivambhu, I don't know what he did personally with his diet and his life.
Okay.
Well, Brother Sage, I resonate totally with your idea. If you imagine that it can heal everything, then it can do so. And I really resonate with that. And I don't want to say I believe it, but I really can imagine it. But there's also, of course, always this aspect of karma. We don't know what contract any soul has, or what, for example, VJ had. If it's time to go, then it's time to go. And if it's time to have anything playing out, what we call disease, because it's something unwanted, we don't know what the soul is learning from that. So, of course, that's the boundary, and that's karma. And even God cannot stop us from experiencing our karma. Of course, we aren't at that.
Does that make sense, Monica?
No, yeah. I don't know. I get the karma thing.
I do too. And I'm always balancing that out between karma and victim.
Yeah.
Is it karma that I have to go through and learn this lesson? Or do I have victim consciousness and I drew it to myself? I was trying to work on it. In either case, the only thing you cannot heal is what you say you cannot heal. That's how powerful the mind wave is. And every day, guys, you're going to get used to it. Someone's going to hit you up with some disease you never heard of before. Trying to stump you. Oh, well, what about this disease and that disease? Well, Doc Mike worked with this client, and in 3 days, she was healed of ALS.
3 days.
3 days.
Wow.
Okay, so people are turning things around, and maybe Shivambhu tweaks the timeline. Who knows? Since it's in a category all of its own, and Shiva, you know who Shiva was. The creator, the destroyer, the new beginner. He never had a form, but he came into form. I mean, this universal consciousness is something we're all playing with all the time. Anything else before we open the book? We're gonna do some educating for about an hour and then take a break. Okay, what are we on? We're on class number 4. Oh, something I have to discuss. Was it this class that talked about boiling Orin?
I mentioned it last time, yes.
And then Melissa contacted me, my assistant in California. She said she boiled the Orin and she put it on her skin and it helped. It moistened it, it softened it. She says that boiling allows it to seep into the pores better. So here's an example of where if we have dogma and rules and traditions about things, we'll miss something that might be just as beneficial if we had opened our mind. So here I had been writing about saying, well, you don't want to boil urine because I came from being a raw foodist for so many decades that the mindset I had was, you boil it, you kill it. There's no vitality, there's no life force, there's no enzymes, blah, blah, blah. And here are all these people boiling it and finding that it works for them.
Yeah, I heard of somebody boil it and then inhale the fumes, the steam for lung issues.
Good.
But it would smell bad. I think it would really, I don't know if.
If you live alone, that's one thing.
Yeah.
The nebulizer, to some extent, has chambers in it that, you know, doesn't it heat it up because it converts it into a vapor and a gas? Isn't that a form of heating? So we're doing that. I just couldn't get the visual of, you know, being like a witch stirring the urine pot while it's pouring. You got this big cauldron.
Double trouble.
You got one of those hats with the tips on it. Oh boy. So let's start with page 117. Would anybody like to volunteer reading?
I can do that.
Thank you for volunteering. Twist your arm. Go ahead.
Boiling Orin is never a good idea?
No, 117. Sorry.
117. Sediments found in Orin.
Thank you.
As Orin is evolving, there's usually a build-up of sediments at the bottom of the pea jar, in which particulates or crystals may appear. Metaphysical thinkers teach that this is really the renowned alchemical form of ormus, or white powder of gold. It has been explained that the white powder formations that precipitated at the bottom of the container are white blood cells, and also encapsulated within these white cells are stem cells. This is often the result of going off a raw vegan diet and eating cooked and processed foods. Cooked foods are notorious for causing acid conditions, dehydrations, and excess mucus, which causes obstruction, loss of vitality, and inflammation.
Well, a quick picture. What I did was I was experimenting with something that I learned from Dr. Hansen in Las Vegas. She says you take your aged Orin and you leave it out in the sun and it dries and it forms ormus, gold. So what happened was she shows up in Vegas with her little container, which was about half this size, passes it around the conference hall, and everybody opens it and smells it and looks at it and going, I can feel it. There was some kind of energy about the dried form. It was left out in my windowsill, and I haven't done anything with it, but it's just amazing just to hold it and think about it. Of course, I wanted to taste it, but I felt embarrassed because everybody else would be dipping in this thing.
So if you would be on a raw vegan diet, then you wouldn't form that much ormus or the sediment. Is that what I am understanding here?
That's a good question. I don't know if you would form less, but it'd be a lot cleaner. I think it'd be a lot cleaner in its appearance and in its odor than someone who's eating predominantly cooked food. All right, Anya, keep reading.
Question. Does the aged stuff really have an odor? Answer: it only smells bad when the body and the diet are not cleaned properly and kept natural. Mine took a long time to get to a beautiful clean state, and it happened after several short and long Orin fasts and months avoiding most cooked foods. I chose eating mostly fruits, everything 100% raw and natural, foods from Mother Nature and in their natural state. Now my urine doesn't smell bad at all, and it also doesn't acquire any bad or foul smell or taste afterwards when it's aging. I only need to make sure I'm eating 100% fruitarian or raw vegan. It's whenever I make an exception in my diet that I observe my urine changing its smell and flavor. Cooked food, even a little amount of it, immediately will pollute my body, and the urine reflects that because it's the water running through this body as it shows whether it's clean or not.
Hold on.
After eating,
Oh, hold on. Elizabeth?
Hi.
Hi,
Uh,
Elizabeth.
hi, Elizabeth.
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
No problem. We're reading it out of the book, page 119 or wherever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're on the second paragraph.
After eating anything cooked, altered from its natural state, or foods that don't come from Mother Nature, from the plant kingdom, urine changes its smell and taste and becomes filthy. That's because the body has become filthy. But I know the best way to clean the body and make it return to its natural state. It's precisely from drinking that filthy urine. Filtering my own water again and again through this perfect filtration system cleans the body with all its organs. My aged urine, collected from a perfectly clean, natural, and on a 100% raw fruitarian diet, no exceptions made, has the most wonderful smell. Really an amazing fragrance. Reminds me of the smell of newborn babies. Play it smart. It is simple. Stay as close to living foods and fruit as possible. Build regular use and practice time of doing Orin therapy. Orin is only as good as the person who uses it. Monica should.
Okay.
Schwester?
See, this is a 2-hour-old. Pretty clean, pretty clean. Kind of tastes like coconut water. Or I like to refer to as ambrosia. So Monica and I have not come up with a time, scheduled a time yet for us to have a talk, but we're still working on it. So stay tuned. All right, Orin bath.
So, Sage,
Yes.
so this is still the thing that I think is going to trip me up the most with my patients, because it just seems that unless you're on a vegan diet or you're fasting, and I can experience it in myself. I think a lot of the apprehension people have about drinking their urine is because their diet's not clean, so they don't have the experience of the urine, like what you're describing. It smells like coconut water. Most people don't feel that way about their urine.
Mm-hmm.
So, having studied a lot of the Weston Price, are you familiar with Weston Price at all?
Uh-huh.
I mean, so what do that's a whole other line of thinking, and those people are pretty healthy too. So, like, what do you do with all of that?
Well, first take a breath.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
All right. Food, the food path is a personal thing, and some people are defensive and on guard about their food path because they built it their whole life and they have identified with it. So for you to ask them to step away from it or to experiment with another form of eating takes a little bit of sensitivity and know-how, because you're guiding them back to health and wellness, back to the balance, a homeostasis point, and their mind has to be willing to listen to you. The first thing they're going to do is ask you what you eat. And you can say, look, I'm a vegan, I'm a raw foodie, I'm a fruitarian, I'm a whatever, and I like to fast once a week, and I use this, I practice this, I built it into my lifestyle, and it's doing wonders for me. And are you willing to take a look at it? Mm-hmm. It's your approach is really going to help. and to be sensitive where their mind gets tripped up. I mean, if you feel them moving along, I mean, you know this as a therapist, if you feel them receiving it, accepting it, taking steps with you, yeah, this person's going to go with you. So that's going to use some of your martial art, jiu-jitsu, kung fu skills in your mind, or whatever it takes to.
But you're basically confirming what I'm saying. I mean, the urine of a meat eater does not smell that great and taste that great, correct?
Or dairy, or some other
Yeah.
things.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
And you can point that out to them and explain to them why their urine smells and looks and would taste that way. And drop the suggestion that, you know, if you experiment, I wouldn't say it, I would be careful not to say it as a you have to dogma rule thing. Many people have noticed that when they switch to a vegan or a raw food diet and do enemas and fasting and whatever else you add to that, that their urine smelled and tasted better.
Yeah.
You might
No,
want to
it's pretty
consider that.
obvious. It's actually quite immediate.
Yeah. You'll pick it up in a few days, if not right away. So does that give you any ideas?
Yeah.
And intuitively, you know this stuff. Okay, where are we? The bath?
Or in bath.
Orin bath, page 120.
Shall I go on?
Please.
Collect a gallon or more of Orin and prepare a bath with a hot of water that you can relax into comfortably. Be prepared to stay in the tub for 30 minutes. Using another jar of Orin, rub the skin while in the Orin bath. Here's a simple way to knock out several protocols at once. Do this while filling up the bathtub. Be sure to bring some collected Orin in a container or collect some on the spot. Stand in the bath water as the tub is filling up. Take a container of this water and start drinking, gargling, swishing, pulling, and swallowing. Pour some over from either side of both of the eyes and into each jar. Do Orin nose drinking, either from a jar or palm of your hand, sniffing or snorting. Thoroughly massage or rub Orin into hair and scalp. Give yourself a good UT body rub all over the body as best as you can. Be sure to apply Orin to the navel and any skin conditions or wounds that could use healing. Then soak and meditate in bath water with any leftover Orin either poured over the head and shoulders or any method you can imagine. You can rinse off after taking a bath or leave it on and let it dry. That familiar pee smell evaporates quickly.
So I will be getting in touch with Fiona about testing the water. And she'll let me know and I can tell you guys know. But for me, it's my belief system that says if I'm peeing in my water, it's raised a vibration and neutralizes what's in the water. So we can find out from somebody who does it, you know, scientifically.
Yeah, I have a question going back to what we talked previously about the clean diet and stuff. So,
Yes.
but even if you don't have a super clean diet, you eat meat every once in a while or fish or whatever, the Orin is still doing its job, right? It's still,
Exactly. Still has the power.
it still has the power. It just doesn't taste all that great
May not smell that great either.
and smell that great. Yeah. So if you can stand that, it will still, you know, do its job.
Yes, and I have a suspicion that when people are still eating that way and they're involved with either social media groups or the urine therapy books, and the books and the guys on social media are constantly saying vegan, 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 fruitarian, 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 raw, 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 that something might shift in them. I think the chemistry changes and then they might start going, well, I wonder what that vegan lifestyle is all about. Something might move them toward a change in diet, but who knows? This is my desire for these folks. Did I answer your question?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay. Skin conditions.
The external application of Orin to the skin allows hormones and nutrients to be reabsorbed by the body without being destroyed. Massaging with Orin is therefore an important complementary component of Orin therapy as it is directly absorbed into the tissue. Orin is ideal for health, since it detoxifies the body, strengthens the immune system, calms the nervous system, helps reduce weight by aiding digestion and elimination, reduces inflammation, cleanses the urinary tract, reduces a headache if you drink 1 to 8 ounces cup or more first thing in the morning, or the onset of a headache, and healing other conditions that you will soon know. Orin is best known as a drink, but there are dozens of useful ways to use it in your daily life. It is also one of the most effective natural ingredients for healthy skin and skin-related problems. The liver, by the way, is the organ responsible for the health or lack of health of the skin. Combining drinking pee with topical application restores both liver and skin health. Urea, a substance found in Orin, is one of the main reasons why it is often an ingredient in a variety of creams, peels, lotions, either made at home or bought in a store. These can significantly improve your health of the skin, hair, teeth, nails, and overall surface of the body. Applying fresh Orin on the skin before bedtime makes the face look healthier and younger. Using a cotton ball, washcloth, or hand applying wee on your face. And in the morning you will notice incredible results. Soon you stop using face cream or any unnatural facial products. Pea is a natural product that darkens, restores hair color, making it thicker and shinier. Many report that their hair looks better than when they were younger. Orin improves and nourishes the hair and scalp. To do this, massage Orin thoroughly into your hair. This trick will have a greater effect if you apply it to the hair shortly before going out into the intense sunlight. Leave it on as long as possible before washing hair again. UT is a wonderful remedy for facial skin problems such as blackheads, dark spots, pigment spots, dried or cracked skin, acne, and capillary bursts. Dabbing on Orin with a soaked cotton ball, washcloth, or hand heals skin problems. Simply applying a little bit of your Orin is enough. Apply directly to the affected areas and leave on the area for 10 minutes, then either wash with water or leave it to dry. No residue or odor will remain.
Anya, do you see, sorry for interrupting. It says simply applying a little bit of Orin is enough. Now we talked about there's a subjective way that people are trying to measure the nutritional peak of aged urine. Well, the same thing, it's subjective nobody's came up with, well, how much do you dab on? Do you dab on a little? Do you have to like throw a whole bucket in your face? See, it's subjective. And I don't know if we'll ever get around to like scientifically measuring, is there an exact amount? It just works.
Well, as you said before, it's an intuitive medicine. So
yeah,
your intuition will tell you, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're working with all those people who are trained to analyze way too much, to try to drop it down to 5th grade understanding so people will get it and make it easier. Anya?
Reminder, applying Orin on the face or any skin surface still delivers its vital nutrients from the tissue to the bloodstream. Anywhere you apply Orin on the body or drink it delivers nutrients everywhere in the body. In a cold atmosphere, the lips may dry out. To treat dried, infected, or chapped lips, apply Orin on the lips anytime or before bedtime to further increase hydration and heal. This will remove dead cells while it makes your lips softer and tender. AUT eliminates blackheads and pimples. Teenagers love this. Orin treats acne and blackheads on the face. Its antifungal and antibacterial characteristics help solve problems that disturb you, make you feel self-conscious or embarrassed. Soak a cotton ball in the freshly collected Shivambhu and apply it to any skin surfaces with pimples. Topical or external use of Orin works wonders on insects or ant bites, wasp, hornet, bee stings, jellyfish stings, poison ivy or poison oak, sunburn, eczema, bruises, dried or cracked skin, cuts, scratches or wounds. Use your imagination and intuition when applying Orin topically to treat any and all skin conditions. Been in the sun too long? Not to worry. Orin removes sunburn sting in 10 minutes as it quickly raises the alkaline pH, which is in chemistry the values of the concentration of the hydrogen ion of the skin and body. Apply Orin to any skin surface exposed to the sun after sunbathing. Within minutes, the sting will be unnoticeable. A beautiful tan will be the reward for treating sunburn with Orin. Apply Orin 2 more times during the next 24 hours to add nourishment to the skin and body. You'll be left with a lovely tan and no discomfort from any excess sun exposure.
Anybody ever do that?
Sure.
Yeah, you have?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the sting went away?
Mhm.
There we go. We got proof. Thank you. Anybody have any questions about what we just read?
So when I first started with the aged or the evolved, the evolved elixir, I got actually pimples. I got some pimples on my face and also around my eyes, like on the edges of my eyes, got sore, and there was some kind of pimply stuff on there. And I assume it was a detox.
Yeah,
sign of
you want to get out.
detox.
You want to get out of the skin.
Yeah.
And you see how the majority of things that our body's going through, we're either regenerating or we're cleansing. And the medical system has come up with a name for everything. It's a pimple, it's a bruise, it's a liver spot, it's a sunspot, it's a detox. You're still going to use the same application with topicals. Trying to keep it simple to be a human on planet Earth. All right, now page 125. I'll pick up a little reading here. We're going to go for another half an hour. Orin compresses and body wraps are effective in treating diseased body parts and internal organs, skin conditions, and wounds. These work miracles quickly when treating a third-degree burn. You may have to leave a compress on and keep it moist for 3 days to give the body a chance to grow a new layer of skin. The open or swollen skin over the blister should be left alone. Don't puncture it or scratch at it, since this protects the area, serving as a temporary band-aid for the new layer of skin growing under the blister. Page 126. Refill the compress when it becomes dry, replace it, and reapply. Now, if people doing compresses and body wraps, sometimes they wrap whatever is soaked in the Orin, they wrap it with a layer of either plastic or cloth material, whatever it is. So it pushes it into the body, or it keeps the body hot. In either case, it won't be dripping all over the bed if you do it right.
Well, and ladies, I've come up with a different solution too. You use sorry, Brother Sage,
No, say it.
a panty liner on top of cotton, and I like soak the cotton balls and place them on there, and then I place that on a cotton, and then I do the compress, and then I wrap it, and it works really well. Plus I just feel it's cleaner.
Make a video. In this community, as you can see what I post, anything goes. All right. Fresh Orin rubbing, page 126. Thank you, Sheena.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And I wasn't embarrassed. Just so you know. One method is to soak cotton balls or washcloth in Orin and rub or dab on the affected area. When treating an area that has been affected, get a soft latex disposable glove for hands. Soft plastic type of shoe covers used by surgeons. Plastic bags, these are just examples. Plastic bags, shower cap for brain and scalp, which I showed you the other day. Plastic wrap or the large leaf of a tree to cover or wrap the burned or affected area. This is done to keep oxygen away from the skin. Oxygen is what causes the skin to blister and to feel painful. Indication: general skincare, rashes, wounds, bites. Number 21, homeopathic UT tinctures. Homeopathic remedies are based on unrelated substances that coincidentally produce a similar symptom picture. These are great for chronically ill patients who have weakened systems and are going slow with their healing. It would serve them well as a first introductory step with UT. A homeopathic dose of Orin affects the body in a similar way as being vaccinated against a certain disease, in which case a small amount of poisonous substances is injected into a healthy body. Exception is that Orin has no toxins, side effects, or danger to our health. This stimulates the immune system to manufacture antibodies and could be called a homeopathic or isopathic effect. Isopathic remedies are made from the actual substances that cause allergic reactions or illnesses. For example, if you're allergic to cats, you would make a homeopathic remedy out of cat dander. If you're allergic to ragweed, same thing. This practice is different from standard homeopathic remedies, which are based on unrelated substances that produce a similar symptom picture. The practice of drinking and massaging with Orin allows the antibodies greater access to the body, which stimulates the immune system. Make a homeopathic tincture by putting a dropper full of Orin in a 3-ounce bottle and fill it with distilled water. And I'm going to stop reading there because I don't know anybody who does homeopathics with urine therapy. Everybody's doing it straight or they're slightly diluting it, but I put it in there because that seemed to be another approach for people. You know, the ones that needed to have it not as potent because they're real sick and they needed to introduce it in a slower manner. But I've not heard anybody say, well, we're doing homeopathic remedies. Have you?
No.
Okay,
So
well,
but that would be also a good way to introduce somebody to it.
yeah, it's a slower method and the cleansing won't be as extreme. But yeah, you can use that.
Mhm.
And so, you know, I'm glad it's in the book because there are people who would be oriented toward that. Don't want to leave me out of the picture.
But is it as effective? Or you don't know, right? Because you don't have any data?
No, I don't know if it's as effective. I mean, it will be effective, but I think it may not be as noticeable. Have you ever worked with homeopathic remedies? Anybody? Elizabeth?
Yeah.
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 And was it effective?
Yeah.
Not always.
Not always. All right. So it was kind of hit and miss. Take a
I
breath.
think it has a lot to do with your intentions too and your mindset and
We're
if
back.
you believe in it, right? We're back to
Right.
that.
Yeah. Okay. Bottom of page 128, number 22, compress for hair, feet, and hands. Fill silicone disposable gloves, shower cap, plastic leg cast protector, or plastic bag with fresh or evolving Orin. Leave it on area for an hour according to a severity of burn, rash, bite, or cut or sting. Don't apply creams or any other products on the skin. If Orin first aid is not available, forget the Orin, immediately cover the burn area is the most important thing to do. Refill your Orin compress when it dries up. For a 3rd-degree burn, you may have to leave it on for 3 days to give the body a chance to grow a new layer of skin. Enjoy watching these unique protocols for healing conditions, and there's that link to the Facebook video. Throughout history, sages have been well aware of the hormonal effect of Orin. They state that if a person is unable to urinate, the Orin from somebody of the same sex is acceptable, but not from somebody of the other sex. It has been a long-held belief that female Orin contains greater amounts of female hormones, such as estrogen. And if ingested over a long period of time by a man, this may have a feminizing effect. The opposite was also true for a woman who ingests male Orin, which contains extra testosterone. We already talked about that earlier. Despite this theory or superstition, many report that when Orin therapy is needed to restore health, Orin from either gender will do just fine. Shivambhu is known as a universal panacea for a reason. For patients who are unable to keep down fluids or urinate, obtain Orin from another person other than the patient to give it to a person who is sick. The preferred donor is a vegan, non-smoker who does not take drugs or drink alcohol. That's the preferred if you happen to have one of those guys around. This method of using the Orin of a donor works well because Orin is neither gender, age, or race specific. Some UT therapists like Doc Mike, who happens to be in Boulder, with over 28 years, he's up to 22 years of UT experience, proved this point to his seriously ill clients by drinking their Orin of both genders, even from those diagnosed with cancer, diabetes, or virus. They are all getting great results. Rub or massage the whole body of the affected area with Orin. Leave it on or rinse it off with a cool water after 15 minutes. Avoid use of soap. Note, for topical use, applying Orin that's at least 8 days old is better than 2-day-old Orin. Save it in a glass jar with a good cover in a cool or dark place. And don't get hung up on the time frame of 8 days. You know, by now, it can be 4 days, 8 days, a month, whatever. Obtain Orin immediately after intercourse and apply it to the genitals and related area. Girls should apply a douche with fresh Orin. Leave the Orin on the skin for at least 10 minutes. Breathe in vapors of Orin, either from the palm of a hand, mister, spray bottle, or nebulizer, 2 to 3 times a day until the healing crisis occurs. Change or complement your diet with raw foods. Maybe we could suggest that, Elizabeth. Use the word complement your diet. So they start introducing more raw foods in their diet. A more simpler and for some challenging way of eating is the fruitarian lifestyle. Bottom page 131, number 23, Orin deodorant. As one improves the quality of their diet and continues with UT, you will begin to have more pleasant smelling sweat or perspiration. This lets you stop using a commercial underarm deodorant. As a deodorant, dab some Orin in the places where you usually roll on your antiperspirant. The result will be remarkable. One will not smell from sweat. Rub on hairy chest and feet for a clean and fresh topical fragrance. Practicing UT, page 132. Practicing UT protocols daily, especially with the addition of saturation dosing, builds a strong body as it quickens the healing. Number 24, Orin by the bedside. Keep a small jar of Orin on a nightstand by your bedside, next to your bed. Many leave the jar open without a lid all night for air purification, deep sleep, and improved breathing. This Orin can be useful to quench the thirst in the night or to put in the navel as a way to return to a deeper sleep, or on the legs to heal leg cramps or a Charlie horse. Get used to your friends commenting on how you look glowing, ageless, and more relaxed. Now that's a conversation starter. Elizabeth, you look great. What have you been doing? I put pee on my face. Doesn't everybody? This is how we do it. To overcome doubts about the power of Orin by clients, carefully read the following. Now, I'm going to skip this for now, but this is from Manjeshri Abhinav. She's a UT teacher in India. And and I would like more people to do that. She would post the before and after pictures. You know, we saw her 6 months ago, and then 6 months later, after practicing urine therapy, her skin glowed. She looked younger. Her weight was reduced, and it's great. It's great validation for our community if you can do that. Any questions?
Sheena, you should do that.
Yes, I am.
Did you take a before picture and after? Or
Yes.
Yeah, right. How much
And-
weight have you lost, by the way?
You know, I don't know, but I don't really fit into any of my pants that I brought with me anymore. And you know, it's a natural skin toner as well. Like I'm losing like in my arms and in my face and down here. And like it's naturally toning it up as well. Like it's not that saggy, you know, skin after you lose weight. So the body is just amazing at what it does. And yeah.
Did it leave any of those lines? Like when people lose weight, there's these lines around the hips or the belly or wherever after they've lost the weight. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like the stretch marks.
Stretch marks, that's what they're called, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's well, so far it's just toning as we go. So, and it's funny how the body, like, because it sort of started more so in the torso, and then it went to like the arms and the butt, and I think it's leaving the legs for last. But we'll see.
Yeah, it'd be great to
I
see
have
that.
a question here.
Anya, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been just recently. I've been introducing more and more food since, let's say, 10 days. But I've been on a urine fast for 2 weeks just recently, just before 10 days, and then I'm experimenting a little bit. But one thing that really
I'll be right back.
almost, yeah, that concerns me is I'm losing a lot of weight, Sheena, and I'm wondering, Brother Sage, is this? I mean, that's what everybody says, like Monica and you guys. You say after being consistent on that diet, the body will come back on its natural health figure. I mean, I've been years ago, I've been for 4 years on raw food, and also I lost a lot of weight, but I was like 38. Now I'm 53, and I don't like to be really like bony. You know? It's I'm not so such a heavy person to start with, and I wonder when is it, you know, where's the point? And I think as part of my eating is also because there is this mind programming, eat a little bit so not to get too skinny. And the point is nothing really satisfy either my taste, but nothing really. It's a little bit horrible. It's not horrible, but it freaks me out a little bit, because I used to get anything like nourishment or a good feeling, and it's not there anymore from whatever, even not fruit or that, sorry, this fucking supermarket stuff, and even the organics thing, there is really nothing in it. And I'm feeling a little bit freaked out.
Like
So,
like you feel you don't get the vibration of some good healthy food, or
I had a good, the last time I had a good experience when I ate was when I sat in nature on Sunday in the sun in a beautiful outside forest, and I ate even a slice of bread and a salad and a soup of dal that I cooked. And it felt great, and it was being digested great. But after that, anything I eat indoors is just, you know, like could eat plastic. But there is this desire to eat and to stuff things in me. That's still there. I'm not that evolved to just keep to my cup. But yeah, I guess it's a transition. But also this body weight loss, Sheena. What is your experience? And you're going on for so long.
Well, I think it's how we feel inside, and I think that's just part of it's a mind. It's what we've been trapped into. Like everybody, you know, where it's one of those boxes where we should be this weight or this look like this. But I think that it's how we feel. And at this point in my journey, I'm just going to let the body do what it needs to do and sort of just wring me out. And if the weight all goes, then I'm fine with that. And I will once it's over, I'll refill with you know, with what my body's calling for at that time. So I'm just sort of staying out of my head with that weight thing. Because yeah, I've had family say that I'm too, you know, I'm just too skinny, but it's like, well, I feel actually way better in my skin right now than I've ever felt. So I'm just gonna go with it.
Sure.
thank you.
Thank you.
I've been doing raw food since 77, and my body seems to stay at about 162 pounds. People say I should weigh 175 or more. I get people all over social media say you're so skinny, and yet I feel like my field is bigger than my body. Like there's an ectoplasm, there's a substance in here that I feel like I got a strong testosterone-filled male body, and I can work with it just like anybody else. And I've also noticed that I'm 67, I'll be 68 in May. I'm running circles around all my friends in their 60s and 50s and lots of projects, and I don't feel like food is a factor, or weight is a factor for me to have a good life.
Yeah.
And you have to weigh in on that. You know, it's how you feel in your body, how you feel about how you look in your body, and leave everybody else out of the conversation.
Yeah.
Like Sheena said. Breathe. Everybody, Anya is perfect just the way she is. You're innocent, holy, sacred, pure, divine, and precious, no matter what anybody ever told you. Let that sink in. Oh, cheers. We did another prayer. And that seems to be our journey, is navigating through our belief systems. Oh, there's one. Oh, that's got to go. There's one over there.
Yeah.
All right. Avoid chemicals, things for those who use tobacco. Okay, is that where we are? Nourishing the nails, page 137. We've got another 15 minutes before we do it. To strengthen, nourish, refresh, and brighten the colors of your nails, soak them in Orin for 10 to 15 minutes. Then brush the nails. In the end, rinse your nails in water or Orin. You will be pleasantly surprised by the results. Enemas and fasting greatly improve the cleansing and purification of the body, mind, and spirit. Choosing the right containers. The Shiva Kalpa from the Dhamma Tantra recommends the use of pots made of gold, silver, copper, brass, iron, glass, earth, clay, bamboo, bones, leather, or a bowl made out of plantain leaves, or you can use a cupped hand, or you can use coconut shell to store your Orin. Well, not in your cupped hand. You can't store it. Why did I put that in? A coconut shell. What to use as a cover. Number 2, cheesecloth, soft material, or nylon stockings can stretch to cover any size jar. Covering an Orin is optional, as Orin is ultra antiseptic and not an antibacterial. You can simply screw on a jar lid and leave Orin alone to evolve gracefully. So it comes down to personal choice, whether you want to cover it with a certain type of material, or screw on a top, or leave it open. The reason people cover it up so that bugs, insects, and flying things don't drop in there. Number 3, labeling the storage date lets us measure the, quote, age, strength of any and any unusual changes in the evolving Orin. Everybody dating, putting a date on their jars?
Mm-hmm.
Some people go, well, I just intuitively know this one's about 6 months old. Okay, she's definitely dialed in. I mean, whoever that is. Since there's no special formula to determine when Orin will reach its nutritional peak, trust your intuition and personal experience as the best indicator of the strength of the evolving Orin. Orin users have reported storing evolving Orin for 9 or more years. By its nature, Shivambhu is self-purifying and always evolving. Where can you find anything like Shivambhu in nature? Perhaps it's what a salamander uses to regrow a tail. You know about those guys. They lose a tail, it grows back. Pretty good. That's a great trick, great thing to know. It is a personal choice whether to cover the Orin jar with a material or screw on a lid. As the world's most renowned antiviral, antibacterial, antiseptic, antifungal, and antipathogenic substance, no toxic bacteria can compromise or grow in it. And it stays sterile the whole time. That's another thing, Monica.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, I mean, here everyone in the community saying it's sterile, it's sterile, it's sterile. Nobody's stopped examining, and where is the parameters for what sterile means? We're definitely kicking in our critical thinking in this work, aren't we? What is sterile? Okay, rest. How many times I got to pound that in us? When's the last time you got a massage? When was the last time you went to the hot springs? When was the last time you go camping? When was the last time you unplugged from everything? I hope you'll start doing that. Okay. After you are healed and in a good health, continuing the daily practice with UT protocols and a good diet will be your best insurance for a long and healthy life. Never allow yourself to become regularly exhausted or overtired. Consistent proper rest is crucial to health. Once you have recovered from a major illness or from pushing yourself too hard to accomplish anything, stay vigilant and mindful in getting abundant rest and relaxation. Any questions? Are you guys doing personal self-care and resting time?
Oh yeah.
Other than when you're
I'm
in
3 to 4 hours in the forest every day with my dogs.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Beautiful. Okay, let's go on to page 140. Chapter 8, offering suggestions without prescribing or diagnosing. We're not trained medical people, and we're not going to ever get in any trouble as long as we know what languaging to use when you communicate with people. So we are offering general suggestions for treatments. We're not making claims. We're not playing doctor here. You and a client can only succeed when you are of service, when you guide, mentor, and are not a personality, ego, or identity who is seeking praise or has an attachment to the outcome. Orin Therapy teachers never make promises of healing with a client. The ultimate responsibility in healing with UT rests in the mind of the client. Give your best and expect the rest. One of the most interesting pieces of information on Orin that I came across was the fact that the amniotic fluid that surrounds human infants in the womb is primarily Orin. The infant breathes in Orin-filled amniotic fluid continually. Without this fluid, the lungs don't develop. Doctors believe that the softness of a baby's skin and the ability of in utero infants to heal quickly without scarring after pre-birth surgery is due to the therapeutic properties of the Orin-filled amniotic fluid. They don't talk about that, do they? But doctors are aware the benefits during the womb of the baby, of Orin. Just thought I'd throw that out there. UT works for some, and why not for everybody? Here's why. Healing is more complex than just drinking Orin. Improving the diet, fasting, cleansing, right thinking or attitude, healthy emotions, and spiritual and self-love practices will boost Shivambhu benefits. Understand? People who are miserable inside or self-destructive have much more work to do than do grateful, joyous people. Motivated people do really well with Orin Therapy. A well-trained or intuitively sensitive UT therapist will make inquiries into all areas of the client's life and design a well-rounded program that accelerates, deepens, and brings results. Detailed questioning is more thorough than just advising clients to do urine therapy protocols and wish them well. Taking the time to do follow-ups brings confidence and reassurance to the client as you're working as a team to change, save, and improve a life. Studying and knowing the basics of the nutritional profile of Orin builds a skill in making inquiries, addressing concerns, and offering UT protocol suggestions. For example, working with clients who are stressed, exhausted, or have low energy, you may wish to remind them that Orin contains nutrients such as melatonin, serotonin, magnesium, DHEA, dopamine, L-theanine, phenylalanine, niacin, tryptophan, oxytocin, and B complex that are well known to support the function of the adrenals, glands, nervous system, and brain. Knowing this about Orin, of course, is optional and doesn't affect the outcome of the benefits of AUT for a client. It just adds more credibility and respect from clients who value this type of information. If you feel that in addition to their health condition, they are anxious with concerns about life, your sensitivity and intuition will guide and assist you to help clients more during a session. Page 143, Shivambhu is love. In the manual, there are articles from UT educators, researchers, and teachers on Shivambhu self-healing practices. These are written to help you design, quote, perfect treatment suggestions. In the popular Shivambhu Hut social media network, you can read UT articles and watch related videos, as well as contribute content that is being enjoyed by the members of the community, the growing water family at the Hut. As of this morning, we have close to 580 members.
Oh, nice.
Yes. To get a free membership and visit the Shivambhu Hut entrance portal at shivambhu.org/Shivambhu Hut. To avoid making claims and keep yourself from any legal matters, always remember that you are not a licensed medical professional who can diagnose and prescribe medications. General treatment suggestions is a good thing to study, which we'll get to in just a minute. Stay on the safe side and only guide them along their Shivambhu journey. Remind them that the body heals itself when given the proper nutrients, and those nutrients are absorbed. Mention that their body's innate intelligence custom manufactures the perfect elixir for their special needs every time. This is most important to know. Any questions? Any questions, any comments, anything you need clarification on? Okay, well, let's do our 5-minute break now. I'm gonna turn off the recording. Okay, now we're recording. This is gonna be a fun video when this is over. So I always give clients the option of whether they want it videotaped or not, because some people, they want to take notes and some people want to stay present so they don't miss anything or get insights. And so I'll record that and then send them the link. So that's something you may want to consider if you're doing consultations with clients. This will avoid any distractions and allow the conversations to flow much easier. A teacher or therapist will naturally take notes and key points of what's being said. We will also be writing down insights and the guidance from your intuition as best they can and still keep up with the conversation. Remind them you will be sending them a link or a copy of the recording of the session, which is held in confidence. Clients may, on occasion, give you permission to transcribe any non-personal information that can be used toward any new training material. Use sensitivity and discernment if or when that you feel that is appropriate to challenge them in any way or call them out on their beliefs, issues, behaviors, or diet. I've been known to do tough love, just so you know. Sometimes it's appropriate. Anya knows that. These people are stuck. They're stubborn. You hit them. That's what a guru. I had people back in the early 80s, people go visit Babaji, and he would hit them on the side of the head to shake them their ego loose. Snap out of it. And I was going, guru, why would a guru do that? Well, he's a guru. That's why. Use sensitivity and discernment if or when you feel that it's appropriate to challenge them. Simply ask permission and then you can go on. Near the close of every session, let them know that their time is almost up and ask if they have any closing remarks before we schedule our next session. Did you enjoy our session? If you get stuck, confused, scared, or concerned about your UT practices, changes occurring in the body, or if you're doing UT correctly, let me know. A UT therapist often makes good friends with a client. This lets them know that they can reach out to you for support or feedback between sessions. I will tell people that I'm not available after 10 p.m., so don't reach out and try to reach. Thank you. I wake up in the morning around 5 o'clock, I turn on my cell phone. Dink, here comes a couple of texts. People are up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay, roll up your sleeves, guys. It's time to be of service and give the client your best work. As you continue studying UT, practice the following. Calm the mind, become aware of the presence. Now you're ready to begin a session. Breathe, let go, and relax. It's a conversation that matters with you as their guide and loving friend. So I hope you'll remember that. Before you start the session, make sure you're centered. That way you won't come in trying to think of what to say and how to have the perfect session, and it'll be guided and it will be a perfect session for you guys. It's a conversation that matters with you as their guide and loving friend. Listening, paying close attention to what's being said and what is not being said lets you hear what is just under their words. Compassion is the art of feeling what they are feeling as well as what you are feeling or picking up from their words, body language, and energy. Use of compassion will bring comfort and safety to a client. Then you can take the first step. These stages or steps will be discussed in more detail later in the chapter. They include making the internal shift to unlearn what you've been taught about Orin. 2, having the discovery or aha or breakthrough known as the adjustment period. Would someone else mind reading? Gina?
I'll read. Yep.
Thank you.
Sorry, which paragraph are we on?
You're on page 183, number 2.
Having the discovery or aha or breakthrough known as the adjustment period, this is often felt as if one is dying or breaking apart, but is in truth a mere shift of perception disguised as a breakthrough or integration. 3, finally, after the integration stage, the client knows that they are home by a feeling of wholeness, peace, or home to the real or authentic self. Drop into your calm center. Be sensitive, compassionate, and present. You are about to give 100% of your abilities, talent, time, training, education, experiences, energy, sensitivity, compassion, and love to the client in the session. Although most UT sessions average 60 to 75 minutes in duration, you and the client will feel or know when the session is ending or chooses to continue until it is complete. Grab a notebook and pen before session begins. You will be writing down as much of what the client is saying as possible. These notes will give you clues in real time by how the client is describing, feeling, and thinking about their health, body, their life, and themselves. Your ability to listen to what is not being said is just as important as to what is being said by the client. While you are taking notes during the session, since all minds are in constant communication, you are also receiving information or insights used to make recommendations, which lead them to make the necessary changes for them to achieve self-healing and a better quality of life. Beyond just telling them to drink and apply Orin, your clients count on you for answers to tough health challenges, guidance, and relief from stress and concerns. Practice, practice, practice. After the session ends, review your notes. Use this time to replay the session in your mind and find any corrections to be made in your teachings, listening, or coaching skills. Be sure to acknowledge the good work that your client is doing. Acknowledgement for your good work will come later. After learning these steps from guiding several clients through successful sessions, this will become second nature to you. The day will come when you will know confidently and with certainty that you give the most perfect advice and treatment suggestions for every client. When working with clients, let them know that you will start the session or consultation with an Orin toast or communion as a way to honor their water, their UT journey, and allow spirit to guide the session.
All right. Sheena, we're going to jump over to page 194. You can read the session about the sessions when you get a chance.
Chapter 15, presenting your UT service professionally. First, remind yourself that you got healthy and well because you drink Orin. It is the water of life that saved your life and is keeping you vital, strong, and active. Still concerned about your partner or parents disapproving or judging you for drinking pee? Know that your radiant health, true happiness, and mental freedom is contagious. Walk your talk, teach by example. Let them see you being true to yourself and committed to your well-being. They will come around soon. Hang in there. You earned your body, mind, and health back from every drop of Shivambhu that passed your lips. Now go tell the world. Would you like to become a UT teacher, therapist, or an author? What is the role of a teacher or therapist? Would you like to become the next successful Orin Therapy teacher or best-selling author? Differences between teaching and counseling are especially notable as related to the goal. Teaching is about establishing a goal, then giving information and possibly advice about a course of action. Ideally, the teacher conducts a needs assessment and identifies a specific learning gap or challenge and establishes a clear learning goal that bridges that learning gap. Counseling is a goal-oriented, but in a different way. Neither the counselor nor the client has an exact agenda or agreed upon goal. In most cases, the goal of the conversation goes beyond just making suggestions on practicing AUT protocols, but the inclusion of health and wellness practices for mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. In other words, both client and counselor, during their initial consultation, assess the client's needs, use inquiry to gather basic information from various areas of their life, and decide if you are a good match or would make a good team to move forward working together.
That's the moment when I ask them, do you feel like we're a fit? They have the option to walk away or to keep walking together. So that way they never feel like you're pushing them or pressing them, and they made their own decision. Thank you.
You're welcome. Role of the client. A teacher leads the interaction. As an expert, they give information or recommend a course of action. The teacher helps the client to achieve a skill, mastering Orin Therapy protocols and practices, or avoid a particular action. Instead of eating mucus-forming, acidic, inflammatory, or human-made foods, you'll suggest that they eat living foods, fast, take enemas, or practice meditation. A counselor encourages a client to do most of the talking while the counselor listens, often taking notes during the consultation. These notes give clues, insights, and an understanding of the depth of a client's cause of their health condition. The counselor facilitates the sessions. They do not make a decision for the client, and most certainly, the counselor does not give advice, but rather makes general suggestions. Sometimes a client changes their mind on the course of action, and a counselor's responsibility is to support and assist them through this process. The roles are very different between teaching and counseling. A teacher's main job is to talk and instruct while a client listens. A counselor's main job is to listen, guide, and empower the client. In short, the difference between teaching and counseling are the words direction or facilitation. Teaching focuses on directing and action. Counseling focuses on facilitating decisions or next actions. Using inquiry methods, see Chapter 10. While coming to the closure or completion of each session, be sure to allow time for the client to express or communicate anything, especially if they are unclear about what was discussed or what to expect next. Ask the client if they wish to schedule another session and go deeper into the healing work with you. This leads to the follow-up. When you are both certain about doing more sessions, then reschedule them in the next 5 to 7 days. Every session is different and reveals something to the client that they may have missed in the previous session. Be sure to ask for referrals.
Okay, eventually we're going to jump to another chapter here. So this is what takes place with sessions, with conversations, with consultations. You guys are practicing. You may not think of it as a career yet, or may haven't even thought about being a teacher or a therapist, which, by the way, they're synonymous. When people call themselves a teacher or call themselves a therapist, I get it's the same thing, but you may wear different hats or present it differently. So this is good information if you guys are considering heading in that direction. And if not, it's something you can use in your life. Any questions? So, let's go over to page 201. And we're going to end in about 10-15 minutes. So if you guys want to have another lovely open discussion off the recording, we can do that. Gina?
Chapter 16, presenting your UT service professionally to the media. Some proven promos that will bring greater interest in your work. Whether you read this manual were mentored by one of the UT master teachers, or felt intuitively that you are ready to become a UT teacher, the moment comes when you simply know that you are a UT teacher. For the sake of this chapter, let's move forward in time when you have guided or facilitated enough sessions as an amateur UT teacher therapist that you feel ready to become a professional and let everyone know. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Now would be the time to get prepared. Create an online presence with a website, print business cards, blog, social media page, and possibly a YouTube type of platform. Marketing and promoting your services takes time and requires being proactive and networking. One of the best ways to get known and gain the respect of readers and possible interested clients is by writing and posting articles and producing videos with UT content that demonstrates your knowledge of the subject. Writing UT articles reveals your knowledge on the subject and perhaps that you may need to do more research to sharpen your grasp of Orin Therapy. The more you can post content in the dozens of UT Facebook groups, the more you will get known and create a growing number of followers. At one point in time, critical mass is reached and clients reach out and contact you. There is such a great need for UT teachers and therapists that you will have no problems manifesting clients and students.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. You can have my extras.
It did just this for me. Within the first month after my book was released to 12 worldwide Amazon distribution regions and 8 radio interviews later, my UT career and mission with Shivambhu went viral. Whether you announce or promote your UT service or not, be prepared for prospects or curiosity seekers seeking you and asking for help using Orin to heal themselves. Here are some proven promos that are currently being used and is bringing interest in Orin Therapy for self-health care. 1, discover your own free natural immunity booster. A healthy immune system is your best defense during a flu season or a pandemic. It relies on the strength of antibodies, vitamin D, zinc, and vitamin C. The body blends these nutrients with thousands of substances into ultra-filtered blood plasma water as your perfect medicine. It is also known as Orin. This ancient yogic self-health care practice called Shivambhu Kalpa, urine therapy, supports a strong immune system, nourishes every system and function of the body, defends you against viral attack or compromise, and restores health and well-being.
Why don't they mention that on CNN?
It's coming. It feels great to know about a free natural alternative without waiting for a vaccine or medication. Oral and topical use of AUT eliminates stress, supports immune system function, and restores health for free. The good news is that you have been carrying your perfect medicine and elixir of life with you since birth. You do not have to rely on the medical system or health food industry to make you well. Discover the world's ultimate free immunity booster. Urine therapy, UT. 3. What if the medical folks lied to us about urine being a waste product and got it wrong? What if, in fact, Orin is a panacea or cure-all and a unique custom-made healing water just for us? Orin may be the answer to our prayers and health concerns. For any questions about Orin Therapy or possible collaboration, insert your name and contact details here.
So while you're reading this, I would like everybody to let some of these possible statements sink into your mind, because there may be opportunities for you to bring this up in a conversation. And these are fun ones that have already proven themselves. So I know you're going to make up your own, but there's some good starter comments, things you can tell people. All right, Sheena.
4, the best immune booster is also free. In these troubled times, it is a great relief to know that we have in our possession both the prevention and remedy for any illness, virus, or a comprised immune system. Urine therapy, AUT, is an ancient Aberdevic yoga practice using one's Orin, a sterile, natural, antiviral, and antibacterial substance to maintain and restore one's health. This is amazing. The medical industry lied to us with propaganda about the nature of our Orin as a way to keep the truth from humanity. If you read this far, pay attention. There are countless AUT enthusiasts and devotees who are extremely grateful that drinking their own water was just the perfect medicine they were seeking. It was an answer to their prayers. Because of their devotion to their UT practice, they have learned that no matter what health challenges they may face, UT does restore their health every time. With the UT message being aired on radio and internet talk shows, TV stations, magazines, newspapers, growing number of UT books, and an incredible network of hundreds, thousands of advocates on social media platforms, over 30 million pee drinkers have been discovered and are being united. With very little assistance from any publications or media, the UT movement continues to grow, prosper, and stay alive in 50 known countries. It is with a grateful and humble heart, as the founder and director of Shivambhu nonprofit organization, UT author, master teacher, and outspoken voice for Shivambhu, that I am fully committed and determined to assist in the declassification and acceptance of UT worldwide. Drink the living water that matters and share this message with everyone. Let's entertain our minds by thinking and visualizing that our clients and ourselves are already healed. We are just cleaning up our mess with our personal holy water. Bless yourself by honoring your temple with a touch or drink of Orin for the body. Be sure to love and nurture yourself with rest and play.
All right, good stopping spot. Any questions or comments of what we learned today or the last 3 classes? If a question comes up to your attention between now and the next class, send it my way and we can talk about it. Meanwhile, we've got, I'm gonna turn off the recording.